Tag, this is the Berlin FAQ. The question of the day. How do you get home at night? Your board game night lasted longer than expected. The last U-Bahn just left and you do not want to spend 30 euros on a cab. So what are your options? This is what we are going to explain to you now. First and foremost, you do not have to worry about a special ticket at night. There's no surcharge, no special tickets or anything. So if you have a daily pass, that's also valid on the night network. But as usual, make sure that you're in the right fare zone. So if you have a ticket for the AB zones, make sure you're not in Potsdam. There's a big change to the daily pass. Until 2020, it was only valid for the day printed on the ticket until 3 AM the next day. That has changed. The ticket is now a full 24-hour ticket. So if you stamped it at 3 PM, it's valid until 3 PM the next day, even at night. So getting around at night is easiest on weekends, because on weekends the S&U lines run 24 hours. In city center every 15 minutes, off center it might take 30 minutes for the next S-Bahn to arrive. And if there's a section where several lines overlap, it might only be served by one of the lines at night. On weekdays, that's much different. There's a gap between about midnight 30 and 4:30 AM where the S&U is not running. There might be one last train running until 1 AM, but it often does not reach the normal terminus, so the trains might stop at an earlier station at night. The U-Bahn is replaced with buses at night. There's no such thing for the S. So if you're reliant on an S line, make sure that you figure out which bus or tram lines serve that area at night. The first S train in the morning leaves Charlottenburg station at just after 3 AM and is headed for the airport. It takes about 1 more hour for the first U trains to get running at about 4 or 4:30 AM. It's quite similar for the buses and trams. They're headed for their depot at around midnight and leave that at about 4 in the morning for the first round on track. There's one big exception. All lines starting with an M run 24/7. These are called metro buses or metro trams. It means they are running as frequent and as straight as a metro. So they run 24 hours. But not necessarily on all branches or on the full track, especially when lines overlap. Only one line might serve that track. Berlin does not have pure night trams anymore, but there are plenty of night buses. These night buses might replace several daytime lines. For example, the daytime lines 169 and X69 are replaced with the N69 bus. And the daytime tram 62 is replaced with the N62 bus line. And there are also night bus lines which do not have a daytime counterpart. And there's one extraordinary night line, the N7X bus. It offers additional service from the zoo station to the airport, and it only runs between 2 and 4 AM and only in one direction. It only goes to the airport and not back. It runs every 15 minutes and only makes sense about twice a night, because from around 3 AM, the first regional and S trains are also headed for the airport from the zoo station. And the regional trains are quite similar to the S&U. The last trains are headed for their depot at around midnight and they get going from around 4 AM. With the one exception of the RB14 airport train, which already leaves the zoo station just before 3 AM. And what's with the ferries? No, there's no ferries in operation at night. That's all we have for you today. See you next time. Click subscribe and all the dirty until then. Rausgeschüttelt. Da,